Hey guys, it's Brian here at Stogie Review. We are not at IPCPR 2015, but I am here with Matt Booth. How
Hello,
you?
everyone.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm not. I can't complain. I'm just hitting the caffeine level in my system is just starting to peak, so I'm doing good.
Mm,
I'm doing good.
I like that. I just had some iced coffee myself. Very nice.
The trade show's over. How did it go?
Thank God. Oh, oh. I've had to medicate myself for a week. So, I mean, after the medicating I was doing at the show. No, the show actually went well. Uh, I felt overall disappointed by the amount of traffic I saw there, to be honest with you. We fortunately had a very strong show. I think that the people that did come came to do business. So
That's good.
quality over quantity, if you will, I would say, with the traffic there. Um, but it's just it's an energy level thing. I think I would have liked to have seen more people. Yeah, foot traffic was low.
Yes.
I would say that it was probably in my time in the business, probably the slowest show as far as foot traffic and attendance by retailers that I've seen. Fortunately for us, we did well. In spite of that, I think that the people that actually came to the show came to do business. So it was definitely, like I said, a quality over quantity type thing. But at the same time, the amount of people there adds to the energy level.
Yes.
And you make you forge these friendships with people, consumers, retailers, etc. So the more people you see, it brings up the energy level, and that was somewhat lacking in my opinion. You know. But overall, it was good. I mean, on the business side, it was good. On the personal enjoyment side, of course, we snuck that in whenever and wherever possible.
Yeah.
But I think that there were some people that were missed.
For sure. For sure.
Mhm.
So what was when people came into the booth to buy? What were they buying? Matt Booth. All of that booth to buy from Matt Booth. Anyway, go
Uh,
ahead.
in the booth, in the
Y-
selection of booth stuff in
yes.
the
In the
booth,
booth. Yes, indeed.
if that's what you're referring
Yes.
to.
The level of booth seven here. Yes.
Well, they were quite interested in my new limited series, the Johnny Tobacconaut, which is actually I'm pretty excited about that as well. So they were buying that, and of course the Payback
Hmm.
continues to sell like a monster. And all the other stuff are Namakubis and Darumas and other limited products, man. People, we have a veritable smorgasbord of products that people partake in. Most of the excitement was surrounding our new limited edition series. I
Tobacco.
just figured let's go to space, man. It had been a minute since I had released a. Well, actually, no, I take that back, man, because I had released. Well, I'm always releasing stuff. It's ridiculous in this day and age of what's new in the last 30 seconds, you know, the Google era of the cigar business, as it were. But it had been a moment since I remember being that excited about a brand concept, and so just changing it up, being creative, having fun with it. Um, it's going to be part of it's a three-pronged attack, really,
Mm. It's a
where
tried attack.
Tobacconaut, it's a
Yes. There
trident.
we go. Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean,
A
continue. Sorry.
phallic trident,
Yeah.
is that appropriate?
Definitely for
Phallic
this.
trident.
Yes, for videos like
Yeah,
this,
no,
it's
thank you.
absolutely appropriate.
I think that that's actually the only thing that would be acceptable. It's not only appropriate, it's just kind of like the
Expected.
bar.
Yeah.
That's where it is. That's the ground floor here.
Yes. So,
So, oh yeah. So no, man, it's going to be the first in a little episodical series where it's character driven. Each one is going to have a different character that represents it, and it's going to be fun, man.
No, that's cool. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize that was going to be a thing, but yeah, okay, okay. So
It's a thing.
it's a thing, yeah. A series thing. I've seen It's interesting. If you, I drink a fair amount of beer. You can tell if you look at me, but
I,
yeah.
I,
I've seen a planetary series in beers before. There's a
ooh,
large. So I thought that's interesting. If you're going to go with a series of space-themed things, that's not a place that tobacco typically goes.
there's a whole story here. I haven't necessarily concocted everything. When people ask me about it, I just kind of come up with additional bullet points for Johnny Tobacconaut's journey. But so far, the idea is not that the tobacco was shot into space. It's really that he's acquiring it in space, actually in Uranus.
Oh, and you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
with something like that, I look at the label on that, and I'm wondering, is that something that's going to be a big, powerful smoke? Because you start talking space, you start talking orbit. I'm thinking that maybe there's a commensurate nicotine level, or is
It'll get you high.
I'm not saying that. I'm just
Feel it.
yeah. I'm just saying.
You will feel it.
Will it? Will it? Okay. All right. No, it's
You
good.
will.
So a fair amount of Lajero in it, space Lajero.
Yeah, it's.
Okay.
I would say it's medium plus plus. Full is such a subjective thing, man. I mean,
Yes.
At this point, for everybody that's like an everyday or every couple day cigar smoker, full is almost like this elusive thing. Like full to a daily cigar smoker is something that would incapacitate mortal man. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's true. Yes.
so full. I would say that if an occasional Johnny Tobacconaut and most everything else that we make would in your world. You were frozen. Did you get that? I should start.
Yeah.
I should start screen capping your frozen faces because they're quite enjoyable.
Are
The
they?
last one was because you're in the middle of saying something. It was fantastic.
We were talking about the Tobacconaut and the space
Getting
Lajero.
high.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
high or not
Getting
getting high,
high.
but medium plus, but not incapacitating necessarily in terms of.
Well, I mean, it might incapacitate, an occasional smoker. Are we recording, by the way?
Yes, we are.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
So we should send you. I should send you the documents about this cigar because it actually, in the descriptive text, it actually says that, to get lifted.
Mm.
There's a little wordsmithing in there, but it alludes to the fact that it will raise you up from the standard level that you would normally be smoking at, a la on the Earth's surface. You are going to get high, Ben.
Yeah. Okay.
And you should get high. It's an experience. It's we do these things. We smoketh of the fine tobacco products to, release ourselves from the day to day. It's meditative.
It encourages you to slow your breath, which in fact does slow the heart rate and calm you down a little bit. So there is some
Indeed.
amount of relaxed Zen
Mhm.
calmative quality to it. I think. I'm not a doctor. I mean, I do play one on Skype, but that's
Correct.
That's not for this necessarily. This video. So with stuff like that, this idea for a Tobacconaut, Johnny Tobacconaut,
Mhm.
where do these ideas come from? Is this something that hits you, or do you, when you're like, I need a new line, what do you do? Where do you go? People that create things, some people just happen, kind of come to them, and other people go through a process. What's the process, if any, for Mr. Booth?
The process?
Yes.
So for me, the way this works is that I am haunted and terrorized by ideas at every waking moment you could possibly imagine. I don't sleep properly because I'm constantly thinking of things. I have far more ideas than I have the time or the money or the combinant efforts of time and monetary units to be able to possibly execute them. So for me,
It's a matter of harvesting
I'm just
the good
constantly
ones.
fucking joking with an, I'm kind of having an internal joke fest, and that's basically where all this fucking shit comes from. Really, to be honest with you.
And that's cool because that means if you've got a surplus of ideas, you can harvest the best instead of being
Ooh,
short on ideas and then just picking whatever the hell sprouts. So potentially a good thing. I
yeah,
think
man. I
I
might be
assume a
short
good
on
thing.
a lot of stuff, but the idea department is the chalice overfloweth, sir.
Mm, okay, okay.
Mhm.
So the you had a couple of other things at the show before we go too far afield, and I believe was it the a larger size of the big payback that you brought out? That was the new thing for the show as
Yes, that
well.
is called the abomination of the cigar business. Yes.
I think it was called the was it the Jackmate? I believe was that the name of it?
Or the actual object would be an abomination. We
Oh,
like
okay.
to call it the jack meat. Jack meat, yes.
The Jackmeats. Okay.
Jack meat, yes. It's really the perversion of the premium cigar, I think, is the fair way to put it. But, this is in demand, and the kids want it, and I am going to give them what they want. They're
Perversion is a
demanding it.
demand. Damn it.
They're demanding it.
Yes. Cool. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Yeah. Anyway,
It's all that meat
yeah,
jacking talk.
I
It's
was
just
not.
getting
I was
sidetracked.
not at all.
You're going down that Hershey highway of desire, Mr. Hewitt. I
I.
know. I see it. I see the glazing coming in your eyes, Matt. Yeah, see that? Look at that. Just thinking about dried up leaves in the shape of dicks, giant cigars. I was thinking today. We were driving. I was taking the boy out for some errands and whatnot, and I was thinking. I'm possessed by this idea that you've seen the movie 300. Is it 300 or is it? There's two Spartan movies, right? There's two of those now.
There's 300, and I think there's like 300 Part Two, Rise of Empire, or something like that. There's and then the sequel.
300 V.2.
Yeah.
So there's a scene where this cat from another village or whatnot comes and he's talking some shit, and the protagonist of the story says, "This is Sparta," and he kicks him and he falls into this endless pit. You
Yes.
know this? I keep imagining that he's saying, "This is cigar," in like this really creepy Eastern European type accent, and then he kicks him into the hole. That's like the cigar business version of 300.2,
Okay.
called 300.
Ring
Let's
gauge.
vape, bro.
Oh, let's vape. I was thinking 300 ring
Yes.
gauge.
Oh,
But
there's
no.
that too.
Yeah. 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 So.
That's just, that really went. Did that really? It went nowhere. I'm sorry. I was
Yeah.
just.
No.
This is what I'm talking about. I can't stop thinking about things, man.
They can't all land perfectly. Some of them are gonna kind of fizzle, like the Roman candle. It just kind of shoots one in the gutter. You know what I mean? So. Um,
I would like to think that didn't fizzle, man. I mean, we're talking about sculpted men,
well,
abs
that part
with
sizzled.
flowing tunics,
Yes.
possibly made of saffron. They would
Very
definitely didn't
likely.
have rayon. I mean, I don't think they made rayon until they had the oak tree and the hammer pants and such. That was when rayon really kind of
Mm,
no, probably was made before that. This is the first time I became aware
possibly.
of rayon was at the oak tree. Do
At
you
the
remember
oak
the
tree.
oak tree? How old are you?
No, I'm 38, I think. Whatever. I
Okay,
don't
so
even know.
yeah.
I don't even know.
Oh, the oak tree was popping, man. It was around. It was around when you were growing up, man.
When we
When
were
we were growing up, the oak tree. Big polka dot shirts made of rayon.
Oh yes, yes, yes. The oak tree, though. Huh. Okay. All right.
The oak tree.
The oak tree.
Yes. Wingtips. Boys to Men
Yes.
probably shopped there. Mm, mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm. Okay.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm not. I don't. I'm not familiar
Okay.
with it as the oak tree. But
They did not sell cigars there
that's probably
to
why I
make that
never went in.
relevant.
So
That's a
to,
good. That's a good call.
let's go back in time a little bit. I don't know if you remember
Ooh.
doing it. This is not a gotcha question, but it could be if we could turn it
Okay.
into one. So back in time, I was reading through an interview you did with Cigar Press back in like 2010, and you sounded very much like the jeweler or the guy from outside the industry starting up a line of cigars.
Ah,
You sounded like the jeweler that was
yes.
picking up a line of cigars. And I'm wondering how, at this point, you feel about it. Are you still the silversmith with a cigar line, or are you now the cigar manufacturer that also happens
I'm
to make cigar or make silver products? I'm
That's
curious where
that's a
that
funny
went.
question, man. That's a really funny question because many times over the last few years, I did genuinely fall so deeply in love with this business and culture. Like I would really like to consider myself a cigar guy first. I obviously was a jewelry designer before I was a cigar manufacturer, and in my heart of hearts, my ultimate vision, my long-term vision for Room 101 is that we will be a house of fine items that people can come through and dabble, gentlemen's appointments and such, I think that that's actually why Davidoff and I happen to connect so well as in our partnership, because we both offer lifestyle items. Lifestyle, does that
Yeah,
sound too?
on the higher end of things. Yeah, no, that
Yeah,
makes sense. It
stuff.
does make
Stuff.
sense.
We offer stuff, man. They just happen to have the core of their business as the premium cigar. And at the time I was starting into the cigar industry, the core of my business was jewelry and jewelry design. And now, and we have a lot of ancillary items and whatnot, and always will. And I'm eager to grow different classifications within the Room 101 offering. I would say that between the jewelry class and the cigar class, we're very much neck and neck now. It's like
Okay,
a
kind of. All right. Yeah, I was wondering about that because it seems. I don't know because I don't know the jewelry business, but I was
Mhm.
like, it seems like I don't know how you could sustain the level of energy in cigars and jewelry. So I assume that cigars were taking a higher percentage of your time. I
well,
was like, how do you balance
well, yeah,
that? I
and you know
don't.
what? No, and you are correct, man. And the only way, in truth, that I've been able to sustain a presence in both industries. Oh, like Bo Jackson. That's a sports
Yeah.
reference, by the way,
Yes.
because I'm very much into sports, as we may have discussed previously. I like the
Of course.
athletics and whatnot. So Bo Jackson, two things at once.
There was a lot of
Two.
discussion of kicking balls, as I recall from our earlier conversation. Two things at once, indeed.
Well,
Two
yeah, and,
balls at
and you know
once,
what? In
yeah.
the cigar business, it's about juggling balls. I guess it's a lot of fluffing, if you will. A lot of dude man time, man handling of men, in a way.
Exactly.
It's
Indeed.
the way of our world. So, but it's via this strategic partnership that I have with Davidoff that allows me to actually be able to sustain in both industries somewhat cohesively. And I invested myself 150% into growing Room 101 as a premium cigar brand because I felt so strongly that ultimately it would be successful and my voice would be heard in this industry. And likewise, for personal satisfaction, like I said, man, I really fell in love with the business, the people, the craft of making cigars, the whole deal. So I took after it with feverish intensity, and you now have 7 years later. Um, you know, I don't think we're at the I don't think we're playing king of the castle, but I definitely think our voice has been heard, and I think that we've built a pretty successful cigar brand, man. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of
Yeah.
wild.
So you would say you're in line with where you were hoping to get to by this point
Yeah.
in the process of building the brand, right? I mean,
I envisioned taking it to a level of success, which we have.
okay,
There can always be more, and there can always be less. I think that we're doing.
indeed.
I mean, I feel very blessed that people have responded well to. They've been receptive to the brand's message, which I woke up in an alley in New Orleans. I have no idea what I'm doing with my life, and if that's the message that they like, then that's great. You know,
That speaks to a lot of people.
wow, you'd be surprised, Ben. So, um, yeah, so my life's not working out personally, as most anyone else's, so we get together, smoke cigars, talk about that, feel better, and life goes on. No, genuinely, it's Room 101 has kind of always been this beacon that has attracted like-minded people that somehow respond, even on a subconscious level, to the merchandise, to the things that we do. And we're not the only people in the world that make a branded jewelry collection. We're not the only people in the world that make a branded cigar collection, but we do it with our twist to it, and people either respond to that positively or negatively. And
Yes.
I've actually been able to meet a lot of great people and make a lot of what I would like to consider authentic friendships, man, via our business.
Cool,
So on
cool.
and so forth, and onward to, it's history in the making, really, is what it is. I hope.
Yes. So, I'm curious with the the integration with Davidoff and all that, and Camacho,
Mm-hmm.
does Davidoff have an interest in the other line, the silver line? Is that intertwined with this business, or is the Room 101 Silver still its own separate business? Just out of curiosity, if it's kind of
I mean,
part
we
of the Davidoff
operate.
portfolio or not.
Well, on the technical side, I mean, our arrangement is one of license,
Yes.
and we work as partners. Basically, they manufacture and distribute for us, and I, in turn, design product and work on blending and basically putting everything together. They have the machine, and I have the formula, and together we
Sweet love.
are one.
Yeah.
We are one. If I might be implying something. So now, and then
Sword fighting? No, sorry, what?
now, and then of course our jewelry business is in Los Angeles, where I run, operate, manage a production facility with my partner on the production side, and then of course we manage the Room 101 business via our offices here. So yes, they are separate, although they are under the same brand name. They are managed as two separate businesses. And as I would continue to do, and will continue to do as we expand into other classifications of merchandise, I have intention to launch an alcohol product of some sort within the next 2 years.
I was about to
As
ask
something
about that, and if what other
Yeah.
interests you're getting into. So as we were
Drank.
saying, drank and trank, or just drank.
Well, ultimately we'll get into tranquilizers as well. But in the interim, we will focus on expanding our collection with other classes of merchandise that are in line with the Room 101 philosophy, and one will be some form of drink. So I can't speak much further on it now, but it's something I've been working on for a little while. It's just like anything else you want to do. It always ends up being a little more complex than you first anticipated.
Indeed.
But we're getting there, and like I said, as we have the other classifications of merchandise under our Room 101 brand umbrella separated on the back end, as would that be, and as would anything else that we would get involved in. It's just smarter business.
All right, good. No, the philosophy. You said something, and it keyed me into something I was
No.
going to ask about. And I was noticing there's a considerable theme. I don't think I'm misrepresenting it to say that there's a little bit of an Asian influence or inspiration to the Room 101 suite of products. And I was curious, have you spent time in Asia? Is that something? Where does that come from for you? Is that a?
I have. I would actually like to bring in an expert at the same time.
Hello.
And we will not. I will not forget where we're. This is Grayson P. Booth.
Hello,
he is
Grayson.
here to assist with our interview. I never know what he's just always.
There we go.
Yep.
Sort of.
Oh.
There we go.
He's not. He's there. There it is, man. Look at him. He's He's wild. He's wild, man. You're wild. You're so cool, man. Such a good-mannered, just a well-mannered young gentleman in the making. Just a modern-day gentleman. Such a good disposition.
Now, do you have him rolling cigars yet?
Not yet. His hands are not exactly ready, but they will be. They will be. You know.
Cigarillos, perhaps. I mean, he might be.
Yeah,
Yes.
No, we could do something.
Very small.
Something.
Possibly Lanceros. I mean, you know.
This is his debut.
His debut. So you said he was 9 months, correct?
No, just over 1 month.
Oh, just over 1 month. Oh, so like.
Oh yeah, man, he's a
9
fresh
weeks.
one.
Okay, quite fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Sir, I appreciate your time. I know it's valuable. Okay, I'm going to send you back to your mother now. All right. I welcome any further input. We'll be here all night. Thank you. Grayson. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, good job.
That was
okay.
I'm going to say breaking an exclusive on this when it goes out to on social media. Yes.
You know, I still wonder what he's like. I'll look at him sometimes, and sometimes, you know, like today I was driving him around, and he's you know, I look back to check out what he's doing. He's just staring directly at me, just no expression, just what's up. And then, you know, now I don't even. There's nothing. What is that? I don't. He's got focus though. I'll give him that.
Yeah, that's
on what he's focusing.
Yeah.
No one knows.
You might have to talk to him about his life choice because he seems like he might be going off on a tangent there with the focus. But yeah.
Oh, we've been talking a lot, man. He doesn't respond, but we've been talking a lot. It's been good. I've been enjoying it. So, yeah, Japan initially, I was there for about a year in the service.
I thought might be the case.
When I was in the Marine Corps. And it made a huge impression on me while I was there. Yeah, no, true. And at the time, of course, I had no idea that I was going to be doing all of this shit when I got out or after I got out, that I'd be designing jewelry and building a brand of merchandise and so on and so forth. So when I started to learn the craft of jewelry making, I immediately wanted to create some of the character work that I saw over there, the sculptural work, you know. And it was really something that hadn't been done before, to my knowledge, you know. At the time, the heavier silver stuff, the biker style stuff was very popular, and it was all about, you know, the skull motif and, you know, iron crosses, lightning bolts. I mean, anything you could associate with, like, the, you know, biker culture. And so I wanted to come in from a different angle, and I started making a name for myself, as humble as it was, of course, as, you know, the guy that was making all the Japanese characters and artwork into jewelry. And from there, obviously, my design and manufacturing capability continued to grow. And, you know, today we make a slew of different things. And, I mean, even just on the technology side, I mean, the stuff we're capable of now is pretty intense. It's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild, you know.
Just imagine what's going to be like once all the 3D printing happens, you know, where you can just put slap any old metal or something into a cartridge, design it up, and print it out.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be
we do
crazy.
use 3D printing technology now. Oh yeah, absolutely. But we don't print directly. We don't print the final product.
Oh, probably like molds or something. Yes.
Yeah, you print. You basically print in a castable wax, and then that form is then cast into whatever metal you're going to. Yeah, and now someday, what we will do is we will actually be printing these pieces. Like casting will be a thing of the past, as well as actually as insane of a thought that is. It will actually be. It is a very dirty process. It's an unprocess, and it's something that no matter how many times you do it, you lose castings. Typically, when it's very time sensitive and you don't have any other options, that's when things get fucked up.
Yes.
So, oh yeah, no, that's the only way that life works, of course, right? So, but it's going to be really interesting because, you know, when things are printed at that point, you know, I mean, technically, you will erase a lot of the options or opportunities for defect, porosities, things like that, like air getting trapped in your cat, things like that will not exist. So it's going to be a very different time for jewelry making. Of course, that technology, when it arrives, which from my understanding that it does exist to some extent, I believe that Rolex is actually printing some of their watch cases now, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
But of course, it's a global monster like Rolex that's able to afford and implement that type of technology in their production. You know, similar to when cell phones came out, there were giant bricks, and it was only doctors and drug dealers that had them, and of course, Bell Biv DeVoe.
Yes,
They had
of
them.
course.
They had them as well, and now everyone has a cell phone, right? So, at some point, it will be that accessible and affordable.
That'll be good. That'll be good. So, where are you? Where are you recording from? I noticed that it looks like
I'm not
home.
in a good place right now.
Not in a good
that's
place.
what you're asking. Oh no. Oh,
In
my
emotionally
physical
a
location.
very bad place. Yeah.
This is actually my office in my home.
Okay.
If we were doing this earlier in the day, we would have been doing it from the factory, which actually could have been interesting because I could have walked you around a little bit. We could always do that at another time, you know, get more action,
Sure.
if you will. Yeah, but I'm just in my home office. I have many fine items here. I'll just take here. Let's just go on a little magical mystery tour here. We have a very messy desk here. This is very messy. We have many statues of Hotai. Very good luck. This is the Buddha of Sorrow here.
You might tilt
This
down
is-
a little bit so we can.
Oh, what's that? Oh, that's contraband. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's the Buddha of Sorrow there. That's
Oh,
the
there we
Buddha
go.
of Sorrow.
So Matt
This
Booth
is,
has a proper desk that he sits at on a day-to-day basis. He's not out running, fighting crime.
Oh, I do it all. This is
okay.
where I end up at the end of the day,
Okay.
and where I'm licking my wounds from my day and
I see.
trying to hydrate. And this is what do we got here? This is a Daruma.
Oh yeah.
Daruma.
There
We have Garbage Pail Kids.
we go. Nice.
We have a rendition of George Washington crossing the Delaware, except that's what? Can you see my finger?
Not quite.
I don't know.
A little to the left. Oh.
That's the RZA from Wu-Tang. Those are his handprints. Those are RZA's handprints there.
Very nice. RZA crossing the Delaware.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Powdered Toast Man. We have two. We have two Powdered Toast Mans. We have Bubblegum. This is my girl. She's been through a lot with me. You know what I'm saying? That's her right there. Right there. Oh yeah. Yeah. So we got a lot of interesting stuff. This is my Homo Trooper. That's it's from the Gay Empire. Yes, it's anyone that doesn't have one of these is missing out. It's just missing out. Yeah, but you got to keep them in the original packaging. Otherwise, the value, of course.
You always keep it wrapped, Booth. Always keep it wrapped.
You're telling me. So, I have, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, a great little read there. This is actually a great item. This is a Swarovski encrusted dildo, and this was a gift from a very dear friend of mine that decided he was going to mail me a dick in the box one day. I won that. He started it. I finished it. Okay. But this was good. This was a strong play. Just in case. Oh God, I'm dropping crystals. They were hand applied, by the way.
Were they?
He hand applied them. Yep. I keep that in a nice little presentation box down here. For stocking. I have all kinds of shit in here. Some of my instruments and such. Just my life. It's a fucking mess. What can I say? That's it. So this is where I do my things in the house. This is kind of my area. I mean, over the past few years, I would refer to the amount of travel that I've subjected myself to as being mind melting.
Oh yeah.
Soul melting. Soul melting. However, it is the reason, and I believe the chief reason, of course, after having, a respectable product, is that personal connection, meeting people, going out and showing people the proper respect of a visit, and introducing, not only my brand and the concept of my brand, but my person as well, and getting to know people. And I think that, especially in our world, in this world, in the niche subculture, which is the cigar subculture, I think that a chat and a handshake goes a long way. I think that it's a collective of old souls, and I think that overall people that smoke cigars respond to authenticity and good nature and whatnot. And so, it's good to know that when you're buying something, you are supporting someone that's not a cocksucker, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I would say I would prefer not to smoke that dickhead's product. I will now support this person because he is nice and he's hardworking, and I met him and I have a little understanding about where he's coming from. So why not? Well, look, man, I happen to feel that the cigar business, quite frankly, is a magical place, man. There are very, very few bad eggs, man, really. And even if you think somebody's a bad egg, I think you just may have caught them on a bad day. I think it's a place that's populated with really good people. I definitely, personally, my process is, if one of the cigar makers does not allow me to grope them excessively, I then in turn do not support their product.
Oh.
It's not that I don't care for them or respect them, but if you're not going to give daddy a little sugar, then daddy's not putting, sugar in the tank, so to speak.
It's important to be able to handle the goods, right?
I want to handle the goods, man.
Yeah.
I want to know, if I'm stepping up to the plate, I'm going to smoke that cigar. I want to know,
Yeah.
I cupped that man's ass aggressively, and he allowed that. He embraced the opportunity to come closer to me, and therefore we share a special bond. Now, vis-a-vis tobacco, we will be 2 is 1. Again, I can't do the, because my hand is holding the phone. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes. So what's the plan for the coming year? Before,
the plan. This is like we plan stuff, right? This is great. Okay,
theoretically.
So let me see. If I was going to plan anything, ram my mouth into a doorknob tomorrow. Then
okay.
When would this timeline be starting exactly? Planning. We're going to say next year. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
This is hard. Why are you making this hard, man? I thought we were just going to have a chat.
I told you there's going to be some tough questions. One of them was planning.
Oof.
After this, I'm going to make you clean up your room.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. So, next year, the tentative plan is to expand the cigar brand. And I actually think that we need to do a little cleanup at this point with our collection. I think we have, because, over the course of building the brand, it's been trial and error. It's been, on my part, a lot of learning, and kind of finding a comfortable place with how I want to represent our product as a cigar brand. So we have a lot of stuff that overall, I think it looks like it goes together, but it needs to be truly a cohesive group of merchandise. And I think that, there needs to be a little bit of remodel, refresh, toning it down in certain areas, bringing it up in other areas, just kind of dialing it in. We're going to dial it back, dial it in. It's going to get a little tune up and refresh, And it just comes from time and grade. Certain sizes than others in specific blends. Now we know what people are receptive to, and we can build a stronger collection moving forward because of it, because of our experience in the, over the last 7 years. 7 fucking years, man.
Right.
Can you believe that? So within the Room 101 cigar collection, there are a couple things that to me are standouts, and I will tell you why. First and foremost, and forever, the Namakubi blend. okay, and the Namakubi series. The Namakubi series will always have a place near and dear to my heart because Namakubi was really our appetite for destruction product. It was the collision of product, stylization, experience in the business, and it was really where the rubber hit the road for me. And I had several very close friends that were retailers, are retailers for the most part. Some have moved on, that actually came to Donley Honduras with me and sat in on the final, what was actually the final blending session for that cigar. And I wanted them there because there were people that I had built, in my opinion, strong friendships with. I also tremendously respected their opinions, and I also felt at the time that they had a lot more experience than I did. So I wanted to know that they liked. I was very excited about what I had been working on because I had worked on that project for over a year, and I really felt in my bones that it was going to be a next level product for us. But I wanted their opinion, and so I flew. It was about 7 guys down there, and we worked in the factory for a couple days, and they all gave it a big thumbs up. And it was in an atmosphere where they knew that if it was not good, they could easily have told me, man, this is really, oh, you're kind of missing the mark here. So, you know, it was an honest and open environment. They gave it the thumbs up, and we put it out into the marketplace. And Namakubi was really, it was our 3rd cigar. As I'll tell many people, it was our 3rd cigar, but it was our first good cigar. And I think
I completely agree with that. I'll just tell you.
Thank you.
I think you know that already, but I think that's an absolutely correct statement. I'm very fond of the Namakubi.
Thank you, man. No, I'm still very proud of it to this day. You know, and it was really, you know, it was you know, I had been working with tobacco. I mean, we had launched the first cigar in 2009, but we had worked a good part of 2008 to create it and launch it and whatnot. And really, we kind of fell on our faces with that release, and it was, you know, a very strong and powerful learning curve that was thrown my way. But I wasn't going to let it get me down. I wanted to have a cigar brand. You know, I was very passionate about that, still am, and so I fought to basically resuscitate Rube 101 as a cigar brand, and Namakubi was the product of working aggressively towards not only, you know, developing a better product, but learning the process and being involved, being in the factory on a monthly basis, and really investing myself wholeheartedly. And that's, Namakubi was that. Namakubi really was the rebirth, the re-beginning. The re-beginning. I just said the re-beginning.
Yes. Maybe call this video the re-beginning.
Yes. That was the re-beginning. That was Room 101.
The re-beginning.
But and that's really that also is where I kind of fell into my groove as far as product development, not only design, package design, but blend and construction, shapes, things like that. Namakubi Ecuador was an evolution again, because that's when we really started tinkering with the diadema formats, which I find to be very favorable, and I like to use them in a lot of our limited products.
Yeah. Do you spend as much time down at the factory now, or was that more then? And I mean, what's the time like there?
Yeah, not as much now. Not as much now. But you know what? It's actually interesting because I rely on maybe we refer to them as the Davidonians.
The Davidonians?
The Davinites. The Davinites. Wait,
Davidarians? I don't know.
No, I don't like that one. That one.
No.
I don't. I'm going to go with Davidonians. So,
Davidonians, okay.
We have a very strong working relationship, and I also happen to trust their factory management, the staff there, implicitly. So we have a good understanding. You know, I will work, and then I know that they can follow up on the production side now, where I made a point to not live at the factory. I fucking felt like I was living in the factory, but it was really it was a multi-pronged attack. It was to learn the process, be more involved, and also to forge a relationship with the guys at the factory, so I knew well, and also watchdog the production a bit, because managing a factory here, although we make a different product in Los Angeles than they do in Honduras, managing a factory, there are a lot of things that are very much the same no matter what you're making. So it was through that process that I really, I don't know. It was during that time that I really became. I mean, I was a person that enjoyed smoking cigars, and it was through that process that I really became a cigar guy.
You became Matt Booth, the cigar maker, not just Matt Booth, the cigar wannabe. I don't know. I mean, what are you before the cigar enthusiast to the maker?
Well, you're a cigar smoker, man. I mean, you're
okay.
you're a cigar smoker. You're a person that enjoys cigars. I mean, there's no harm, no foul in Hey, look, man, I love sausage.
Yes.
I would never want to be a sausage maker.
I agree.
Just from certain things that I've heard. And I don't even want to verify that they're true, really. I just, I'll take it on people's word. Like, that's how they do. Ooh. Yeah, no. But I'll eat
you'd have a house full of meat hanging from the ceiling. So I don't know.
Well, and
handle that.
Next I will show you our living room where we have the meat hanging. That's great.
The meat hangs from the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
But I think that pretty much covers what I had to go over, and
okay.
We're fighting with Skype every inch of the way. So
it's true. I'm very
grateful
that you took the time, man. I think this was a long time coming, and I want you guys to know the Room 101 story, I guess, man. So I hope that this helps paint the picture.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it. This is very eye-opening, and it's in. Yes, yes. It's hopefully not that opening, not so much of that, but a little bit of that, maybe a little. Yeah. No, this has been good. This has been really intriguing. I was unaware of a lot of this stuff, so I've been curious, and I know I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that are as well. They see you in events, being Matt Booth, the guy that's the representative of entire kind of a lifestyle, effectively.
Yeah, Matt Booth, the odd designer type that gropes men that purchase his products. And then men buy his products because he gropes them. Or, amen, whatever word. It's love, man. It's love. Receive the love. Everyone. I'm coming to a town near you soon to bring you love.
Indeed.
And you're going to take it and like it. No, yeah, so, and on that note.
Yes. We could totally end it here.
And that we shall, man. So again, thank you very much. And man, I look forward to having many more conversations over the years to come.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Indeed, man. You take care. I'm a man.